Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one lined up for you. The cryptocurrency craze has begun, and the USA will flip the switch for it. Don't believe me? Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.36 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 1%. We see we're ranging in price between 107 to 114. We're sitting at 110. Bitcoin now back at 96,000, but was at 97,000 just a moment ago. I mean, it looks like we're going to hit 100K possibly before Thanksgiving here. Loving that. 3,200 plus for Ethereum right now, 129 billion plus market cap for USD Tether. We see XRP number 6 spots at $1.11, off by 1.6 in the 24, up 54.8 on the 7-day. We see 37 billion plus market cap for USDC at the moment. Let's look at this. It's linked to the best home for private equity in the world, ladies and gentlemen. And I can tell you over 85 incredible companies that you can choose from and over 1.2 million registered users. This stuff doesn't last long at all. And it is the best opportunity for private equity in the world with the most affordable minimums. Why don't you do what the wealthiest 1% of the people in the world do? Yeah, invest in private equity. Click the link below to get started. It takes less than 5 minutes to register, sign up, and fund your account and get started. Right here, we see XRP whales splurge over $500 million in a week. Biggest buying spree in 3 years. Oh, it's on, baby. Yeah. And then this, Chinese court says that Bitcoin and crypto are property, so holding them is legal. Remember, they have just turned and done a 180 here. They pushed all the mining out of the country. They said you can't have it, can't own it, the whole bit. And now they're saying it is property. So watch out now. Remember, now we've had this, President Trump has said he's going to talk about the idea, and Senator Lummis has certainly proposed the idea of Bitcoin becoming a strategic reserve asset. Imagine if the country start buying this thing up. Just imagine what happens. And we know that we got motivation to work on a new payment system and a new payment protocols in the world and a new digital financial system because of this.
These things are the reasons why you see the formation of the BRICS and why you have a much lesser appetite for U.S. Treasury debt, which in the long run leads to higher interest rates or monetization of the debt by the Fed, which leads to hyperinflation and higher interest rates. You look at the big picture, and the big picture is that instead of clinging to the privilege of being the world reserve currency, we're doing everything we can to destroy that. And I think that will have negative effects in the debt market, with credit, and with the way that we are viewed across the globe, and also incentivizing these countries to find strength in numbers and to do things that will be outside of the Western purview, trading in local currencies, trading with one another outside the dollar, and looking to things like gold and other commodities as a replacement for the treasury.
That's exactly right. And that's why I feel stable coins are so important. I go all the way back, a couple years here on this point we've been making on the channel. And as recent as the most recent XRP Las Vegas 24, where we did a fireside chat with Christian Carlo, where we talked about exactly that. Stable coins becoming a new use case to soak up these hyperinflated dollars that they're ditching in the BRICS bloc and other countries around the world. Look, a change is going to come. A change is here. And then we know that Senator Lummis has proposed Bitcoin as a reserve asset to the U.S. government.
With a strategic Bitcoin reserve, we will have an asset that in that period of time before 2045 can cut our debt in half. With a strategic Bitcoin reserve, we will have an asset that in that period of time before 2045 can cut our debt in half.
Think of that. And we know that we've heard from like investment bankers and stuff that have talked about projections should that reserve asset bill go through, could send Bitcoin parabolic because other countries will chip in and jump in and start buying it for themselves as well. So this is something to watch very closely. Just as this breaking news here, Donald Trump has chosen Howard Lutnick, a pro-Bitcoin advocate, as his commerce secretary now. And looking at this right here, just to let you know, Howard Lutnick from Cantor Fitzgerald, who says that the reserves for USD Tether are in fact correct and they're in the right balance. So Lutnick, known for his influential role in finance and outspoken support for Bitcoin and stablecoins, will now spearhead Trump's trade and economic agenda, including a proposed 60% tariff on Chinese goods. This is getting interesting, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting interesting. So now we look at this. Brad Garlinghouse, let's get the rest of this interview here. It is absolutely fantastic. I played the first half on the first morning video. Let's take a listen to this now from here at this marker right here.
More in terms of the U.S. role in that. Trump reportedly meeting privately with the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, on Monday to discuss key appointments for the second Trump administration. So Fox Business's Edward Lawrence spoke to Coinbase chief policy officer about that meeting. Watch this.
We're gratified by the degree that the Trump team has had an open door with us and given us an opportunity to talk about our vision about crypto and to see them ultimately adopt much of that. We're very excited to do our part to fulfill the president's vision of making the U.S. a crypto and digital asset leader of the world. There's a lot of work to be done. There was a lot of damage done over the last 4 years that all of us in the industry and working with our policymakers can kind of get going on to restore the U.S.'s position as a global leader.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it would speak volumes if Trump put in a crypto expert in the SEC. That would be unbelievable. Or CFTC. Where does Coinbase fit into all of this?
I mean, Coinbase has been a really important voice in this. I think, three key players came together during this election cycle. Coinbase, Ripple, and Andreessen Horowitz came together to really make sure that crypto was front foot on the agenda. And I think we will get someone at the SEC who is very familiar with crypto. There's a couple names still in the mix that I think are very strong candidates. And the nice thing is these are people who don't go in with we're going to attack this industry. And it really did turn out to be, at a minimum, unethical and a maximum unlawful. And again, federal courts are saying that, not just Brad Garlinghouse.
Right. And Trump has talked about the stablecoin industry as well. You're about to launch a stablecoin. Is that right? We are indeed. Ripple announced not too long ago, we're announcing something called RLUSD or Ripple USD. The stablecoin market now is about $180 billion. And the largest player is called Tether. We think there's an opportunity for the Ripple of the world, we're institutional use case, selling into banks, solving that cross-border, and really making payments cheaper, faster. We think this is a perfect use case of these technologies. I can understand it because slowly but surely you're seeing financial services get it and start implementing crypto, stablecoins in their businesses. Trump, of course, has vowed to fire SEC Chairman Gary Gensler on day one. He said day one. And Gensler has recently signaled that he may soon resign after President-elect Trump's massive election win. Here's a look at some of the rumored contenders Trump is considering for the chairman of the SEC, Brad. And I want to get your take on what's the most important thing that person should do in the early days of this new role at the SEC, should one of these folks get them. I think working with Congress and identifying here's the gaps in the existing laws that create the confusion. I think, I don't know all those candidates personally, but there's a bunch of very strong candidates up there that I think aren't going to pretend that, hey, the rules are clear. Gary Gensler would testify in front of Congress and literally say the rules are clear, but in the next sentence, he wouldn't answer the question, is ETH a security? So to me, it's just this, head in the sand. It's a new dawn for crypto in the United States, and I think we really can make this the heartbeat of the crypto and blockchain industry in the next 5 or 10 years. For so many people, they feel like the people who are writing these rules, writing the framework for crypto, actually don't understand it. I mean, do you think Gary Gensler actually understands the crypto business? One of the most frustrating things about Gary Gensler, he actually taught classes at MIT about crypto. And if you watch the videos of him teaching these classes,
and then you listen to him after he became the chair of the SEC under Elizabeth Warren's kind of guidance.
I see where you're going.
It was a night and day difference. And so
he is smart. He understands, but he's political.
Extremely, and hypocritical.
Yeah.
You know, look, literally the federal courts were calling the SEC under his leadership, these are exact quotes, arbitrary and capricious, failing to follow a faithful allegiance to the law.
Wow.
They were even sanctioned in one case in Utah, that the SEC was sanctioned by a federal judge. This is not what we want from our government institutions, to work for the people and to actually protect investors.
All right, we will leave it there. Brad, great to see you.
Great.
There you have it, and a great exchange there between the two of them, and I appreciate them both. Stuart Alderati comes in and says a lot of unsolicited advice on here about who should or shouldn't be the next SEC chair. I trust the transition team to make the right call with these table stakes for crypto in mind. And I'd like to run down one more at the end of this. End all non-fraud crypto litigation on day one. Love that. Get commitments from Commissioners Udea and Peirce to stay on and work collaboratively with the new chair. Collaborate with all financial regulators in Congress on clear and simple rules for crypto, but without presuming that those rules give the SEC primary jurisdiction over anything. 4, renounce the 2018 Hinman speech and the 2019 framework for investment contract analysis of digital assets. That's a biggie. Number 5, create transparency around the FOIA process. Ensure that it becomes a real credible mechanism for public access to information, not an opaque system. Love that. Number 6, guarantee accountability and restore public trust by addressing past issues within the SEC by emboldening the Office of Inspector General. And I'd like to add here, you know, I look at all this information and say to myself, don't forget Donald Trump's team is looking at purchasing Bakkt, the digital asset platform. So I think we're going to get somebody who's pro-crypto one way or the other, right? XRP settlement news. Look at this. Legal expert claims Ripple has leverage to settle for less than $125 million. Take a look at this. In an interaction with John Deaton, attorney James Murphy has raised question of whether Ripple would pay the $125 million fine that was proposed by a trial-level court. It says here, Hogan pointed out the awkwardness of the situation if Ripple were to settle for a smaller amount, especially if the SEC were to accept a lesser fine, as this would undermine the judgment made by the court. Attorney James Murphy, legal expert here, says responded to this by suggesting that Ripple could have some leverage in this situation. He pointed out to the ongoing cross appeal, which questions whether Ripple sales of XRP to institutional investors were actually investment contracts as defined by securities law. Now listen to what he says. James Murphy believes that this argument has merit, comparing it to the case of Howie, where a company sells oranges to wholesalers at a discount price, and those wholesalers resell the oranges for a profit. According to Murphy, even these transactions involve large sums of money. They're still just sales of a commodity, not an investment in the company itself. He argued that Ripple could use this analogy to reduce the fine, especially since it wasn't given much attention in the court summary judgment. So stay tuned for more on that, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I want to run through the rest of this really quickly here and just show you what flipping the switch kind of looks like to me. First of all, this is exactly what Ripple's partnership with Finastra means for XRP Ledger. RippleNet already has 200 financial institutions connected, but that's a tiny compared to the 11,000 that use SWIFT. The deal could benefit both Finastra and Ripple's existing clients. This has always been a conversation we've talked about, that Finastra is an established fintech player and works with the majority of the world's top banks, said Marcus Treacher, Senior VP at the time, Customer Service at Ripple. This partnership will enable Ripple to expand the reach and solutions for our partners in the footprint of RippleNet while allowing customers to transact directly with each other. Now, what else are we seeing? The IMF panel bank discussing financial institutions, and are basically saying it's happening, right? People are tokenizing their assets on blockchain, but let's keep moving, because we're also seeing PayPal, legacy firm, getting into blockchain. How do we mean? We mean it like this, okay? This is what we mean. While we're thrilled to partner with Zoom to support money transfers made by PayPal, customers across the African continent and rising world, PayPal understands that state stable coins like PYUSD, which is their stable coin, are changing the payment landscape. And by integrating our technology, they will be able to move money in the most effective way possible thanks to our stable coin and payments infrastructure. And this infrastructure is obviously a blockchain infrastructure. You can see it right there. So there it is. So this is PayPal going down. They're doing it, baby. This is happening. And Paxos announces that they're making huge announcement with Stellar's XLM.
Increasingly building market share through its growing list of Paxos-issued assets that include stablecoins for PayPal, Binance, its eponymous Pax Dollar, and more. Joining us to discuss is Charles Casparella. He's the CEO and co-founder of Paxos. Welcome to the show, Charles.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I understand you also have an announcement at the conference.
Yes. So we're really proud to say that the Paxos family of stablecoins will be coming to the Stellar network. We think this is very exciting given the reach and global nature of what Stellar represents and the ecosystem that it has. We're excited to be able to bring some of our dollar stablecoins, also our gold stablecoin, the whole family to this ecosystem.
And this is how you bring the world on Ledger, all the way around the world. And you know that we're going to have a multi-ledger world after all, right? And that's what's exciting to me. And the on and off ramp is dollars, digital dollars, ladies and gentlemen. And I think you'll see a Japanese yen stable coin. We already know there's EU stable coins. We know there's an EU stable coin from Societe Generale that's going to be launched on the XRP ledger, serving the 27 nations. So this is getting super exciting. What else do we need? Well, we know Adrian Harris, the superintendent of the NYDFS, was at the most recent swell. And you know what else? I had a chance to meet her at the most recent DC FinTech conference, which is a fantastic event that's hosted by Dr. Chris Brummer. Shout out to you. Always a pleasure to meet the people who are working to create a safe regulatory environment for digital assets. We're looking forward to Adrian Harris and the NYDFS giving the real USD the green light to launch. I can't wait. And you know right here, it's getting close. It's got to be. Ripple stablecoin, the real USD, is listed as a currency in the expanded global Forex data. When we go into it, you can see the real USD listing in the global Forex data signals a shift towards integrating digital assets into traditional finance. And isn't this what we've been waiting for? Due to their stable value and utility, stablecoins are increasingly viewed as a tool for innovation and cross-border payments, global remittances, and decentralized finance known as DeFi. The stablecoin's role in this evolution demonstrates how blockchain technology is transforming financial systems worldwide. RLUSD's listing in extended global Forex data spreadsheet is a testament to its growing importance in the global financial ecosystem. Its utility in cross-border payments and its recognition alongside major currencies underscore the potential of stablecoins to revolutionize data or digital and traditional finance. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. This is so exciting. And it made me think of this morning.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough.
And we know now that they're getting the RLUSD, the real USD, they'll be able to flip that switch much easier because they got the on and off ramp set right up for them. I'm loving where this is going. There will be those who don't want to admit it, but this is what it looks like when we're about to flip the switch. Everything that we're seeing is headed that way, and we got the current administration coming in that's going to make it one of the three economic pillars, crypto. That's what's happening. The U.S. will be a leader. And here we have Eggreg Crypto here. You're going to love this. Chart, 2-month candle pumps, price and data. Here's my confirmed take. XRP, 2-digit price is guaranteed, he says. So much that I am ready to rotate every single crypto profit or cash into XRP very soon. It's a die or fly, so high conviction for me. Whenever XRP pumps above the 21 EMA and breaks a specific bullish formation, the next 2-month candle historically follows with explosive gains. He goes here to history and says yellow pump 733+%, purple pump 1300+%. Shout out to my middle daughter for picking purple. He says white pump 1,000% and green pump 370%. So coming into here, you can see the colors and the color coding that he's laid out. He does such an amazing job with his charts. It's incredible. Now we're waiting for what's in front of us. And I couldn't be more excited, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting really good. And look, we don't even have legislation yet. Think of this for a moment. What does this market look like? What does it look like for XRP when there's no more? How come the banks aren't using it? Because of the OCC, the FDIC, the SEC, all telling them that they can't. Imagine the moment, what it looks like, and going forward, when all of a sudden they tell them you can. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.